Alright, so it's time to play Spot the Fake News. And this is something that I've noticed the left is starting to do more and more, and I think what their goal here is the left realizes, they're slowly realizing how Trump got elected. They're slowly starting to come around, I think, little by little, and they're starting to accept the fact that one of the ways that Donald Trump was elected, one of the main things that got him elected is his perception of being the anti-establishment candidate and the honest candidate. After all, that was without a doubt Hillary's biggest problem with most Americans, I think, was she was dishonest, she wasn't trustworthy. So I've noticed that a lot of the left, a lot of these media outlets for the left, like Yahoo News and Buzzfeed, which is going to be heavily featured here in a second, are kind of playing that game now. They're trying to hijack the fake news term and the conspiracy term, and they're trying to make themselves out to be the bearers of truth. As if you watched the Meryl Streep Golden Globe speech, she kind of echoes this sentiment, like that's what they should have been doing. That's just, I don't know why they have to be reminded of this. It's their fault that nobody believes them because they've lied and they've been shills for the Democrats and for liberals for a long time now. But even though they're kind of pushing this and trying to pretend as if no, they're not the ones pumping out fake news. It's InfoWars and it's these right wing Breitbart sites. They're the ones with the fake news. Even though I think that's what they're gonna start trying to go with. Here is a perfect example of the left committing the grievance of promoting fake news. So you may have already heard this. This is starting to kind of blow up a little bit here on the internet and on social media, and that is BuzzFeed releasing or publishing this claim, or we should say, as I'm going to read it here, unverified claims about an apparent connection between Russia and Trump, and some claims of sexual acts that allegedly had happened in Trump's presence. Now, this is a very scant article. I mean, which it's kind of the point here, I think, and kind of the point I'm making is there's pretty much absolutely zero information about what really went on, because all of the information that they have is alleged. For example, the dossier, which was reportedly compiled by a former British intelligence agent, well, who? We're not allowed to know. Okay. Well, good reporting. It's good. It's good to be informed there. Included unsubstantiated claims. Unsubstantiated claims. So you're starting to see the corruption here. I hope you spot this. It's unsubstantiated, but it's being reported. Okay, fine. That's okay. I'm all right with that. Whatever. I'm a big boy. I can determine what's, true and false, I think. So BuzzFeed reports that, if we go down here, BuzzFeed has said that they published a document in its entirety so that Americans can make up their own minds about the allegations. I mean, isn't this, to me, sounds like the strategy that they are trying to employ now. The media now is trying to gain the trust back of the American people, and this is how they're doing it. It's so bizarrely sad. It's so bizarrely sad. Now, if there is any truth to any of what this is, which I don't think there is, but if there happens to be, good. Thank you. I don't know why you waited so long to release this, but there probably isn't. And if you just listen to the editor and what this quote from this article and what he says. Ben Smith, editor-in-chief of BuzzFeed. As we noted in our story, there is serious reason to doubt the allegations. Serious reason to doubt the allegations. We have been chasing specific claims in this document for weeks, and will continue to publish it. And will continue to Publishing this document was not an easy or simple call, and people of goodwill may disagree with our choice. But publishing this dossier reflects how we see the job of reporters in 2017. Really? There's nothing different about what you're doing here. So here you have the editor-in-chief of BuzzFeed stating directly, quote, "There is serious reason to doubt the allegations." Okay, fine. That doesn't make a good headline, though, does it? So let's go over to this other article I found on Yahoo, and this is an article where Pence and Trump have responded, which I think is a stupid move on their part. But Trump appeared to dismiss the report in another tweet 40 minutes earlier, simply writing "fake news, a total political witch hunt." And CNN was the first. CNN reported it first. From at least that's how I first heard about it. CNN stopped short of publishing the actual report, which had been circulating among politicians and journalists for months. Okay, can we verify that? No, it's not falsifiable. Okay, we can't prove that to be wrong. So, because I mean, how would we know? How would we know that this has been circulating and we're just now hearing it? And again, even this author of this article notes that BuzzFeed acknowledged in its story that the intelligence report claims are unverified, and in some cases, potentially unverifiable. Okay, so just look up the term non-falsifiability, okay? Non-falsifiable. If you can't falsify something, it's meaningless. It's meaningless. But see, that's not the agenda here, guys and gals. The agenda here is not to report anything other than fake news. The agenda here is not to do anything but it's a feeble attempt to regain the trust of the American people, at the same time smearing Donald Trump. And as long as they continue to do that, they're just going to continue to prove the narrative that the conservative right has been pushing, and that is that the media is absolutely corrupt and the left is completely 100% in bed with them, or vice versa, the media is in bed with the left. So our presumption is to be transparent in our journalism and to share what we have with our readers. We have always erred on the side of publishing. Now, if you've watched BuzzFeed, which you deserve an award, because I can't sit through more than 5-10 seconds of any other videos on YouTube. But if you watch their content, are you honestly, now especially if you're a liberal, are you honestly going to tell me that they are not left-leaning? I mean, seriously, are you honestly going to tell me that they're not left-leaning? BuzzFeed? Which, fine, but what is this nonsense? Don't pretend that you're not. Just come out and say, we support Hillary Clinton and we have a liberal left-leaning bias. I mean, and this is the thing too. The damage here is it's just the headline. It's headline damage. It's collateral damage based on the headline, because most of the sheep are not going to read the articles. They're not going to get to this point. I mean, it's funny. This should be at the very beginning of the article, right? It's not. It's at the very end. That's a strategy. That's what they know. Most people aren't going to get to this point. They know that most people are just going to read the headline. And I'm sure there's a lot of people praying and just going to believe regardless. They're just going to believe this story, whether it's true or not. And that's the goal. That's the agenda here. That's why it was released. And it's sad. It's sick. It really is. I've said this before. I'm not the biggest fan of Donald Trump. I don't really like the fact that I have to defend the man so much. But it really is a testament to just how bad, how glaringly bad the corruption is, and the bias. It's unbelievable. And what disturbs me more is how few people see it. There's just not enough people seeing it. And this is the new war. The new war is going to be on this issue, on the media. And they're going to try, the left is going to try very, very hard to spin fake news as a conservative thing. They've already done that. And they're going to continue to try to do that. And have you noticed they're copying us? They're copying us. They're copying the conservatives. They're copying the right. They're doing what the right did to them. Okay? Russia hacks Clinton. Russia gets, has dirt on Clinton. Now they have dirt on Trump, right? Fake news, Donald Trump and the right push this, expose fake news for what it is. No, the fake news is Breitbart. The fake news is InfoWars. The fake news is Mark Dice and independent YouTubers. That's the fake news. You can't trust. You gotta trust the real news. Even though that nobody trusts the news anymore. For good reason. But this is what they're going to do. They're going to start saying that they're the ones that, and I wouldn't be surprised if they start going into this conspiracy groups and conspiracy crowd, and they're going to start spinning and creating these. I mean, they already have with the Russia hacking the election. They're going to try to kind of fish for those people, fish for these conspiracy theorists, to try to get them to kind of lure them over and say, yeah, you like these things? Well, we have our own. They're going to start doing it, and they're just going to smear the right.